So this is Baruch here. We're at the Tikkun elevator Kollel. We're about to get in the elevator cab and take a deep dive into the secrets of Rosh Hashanah. This is the Tivah Kavanos. It's a pirush on the Shar Kavanos. And also it has a Tivah Hashash in the back, which is maybe a little bit beyond where we're at right now. So we're going to open up here to page Kuf Lamed Dalet. I recommend that anyone who listens to these shiurim to buy the books. I said it before because the author, he needs encouragement. I don't think he's getting any younger, and he's put out just tremendous amount of really things that's very difficult to access what the deeper meaning of all of this is about. Now we read apparently according to my notes down to number Mem Zion in the Tivah Kavanos. Now, let me see. I don't like the way that I've got this lined up, so let me see if I can move it over a little bit better. And we'll bring it down to where's Mem Zion? Here's Mem Zion. So it says, "B'shlosha ofanim mekabelis nok as shevach hagavuros and law." There are three different ways in which the gavuros that are in Zer Anpin will be moved into completely into the nukva Zer Anpin, into Malchus. The Tequila tequila, the first one is Mikabelis as a shefa dereka neked sheba achzat. This whole thing is has to be talked about exactly in a different location, exactly how this whole comes about, but it's a concentration of shefa that takes place at that spot, that is at the chest of Zah, and there's an opening right through there to the top of the head of the nukva. V'sham Mikabelis dinim koshi ma'od. At this place she receives really severe dinim. Now, Gevurah Dinim. So a great deal of the study of Kabbalah has to do with the concept of sweetening those dinim, because dinim are the Elokims. Remember how many say Bereshis bara Elokim. Elokim is Lashon Din. So the world is created in din. So that means that din automatically has a shlita when the world came into being, and our job is to sweeten it. So he says that's part of the reality. Ki lokechas bebechinas ach, because she's receiving the gevuros that are coming to her from Zer Anpin through her backside. The back we understand is Lashon Din. So that is umispheros 9, Shahim Bebechidas Dinim, and also the lower spheres of Zer Anpin, which is Zer Anpin is basically a Chagat 9. So as the Mochin are coming in from Bina into the head of Zer Anpin, then Zer Anpin becomes a Chagat 9. So he has all of those things. As that is pouring into him, then the Gevuras are moving over to the Nukva. But then that's the way things go. Then he says at the time of the Tardema, Mistalaka Shefa B'tok Zer Anpin, then the Shefa, as we are repeating ourselves again, leaves Zer Anpin, and she receives pure juice. She receives the Gevuros directly from Ima Shalo Ayede Zer Anpin, and not through Zer Anpin. Bosnim talking about dinner yosef. So then what happens then is the dinim are now sweetened a bit. Why? Because Bina is an area of purity. That's in the Rosh of Ima, that is the Rosh of Zer Anpin, but it is as an aspect of Ima, which comes from a higher dimension. But as the Shefa is received from Ima, Shebemana dinim is arim, because we understand that although Bina is not din, Dina is a mother, like a mother that cradles and takes care of her children. But nonetheless, what comes out from Ima are dinim. So the dinim is arim yesh be'eze din. There is an aspect of din that comes out of Ima, afal pi shehem mutalkim, even though that they're more sweetened. Yosef b'masha choyse lokechas dechila derek Zer Anpin, much more than what she was able to receive through Zer Anpin, because Ima, after all, is not din. So v'lechein nachshavim dinim dekifim. So they're considered to be very strict dinim, tough dinim. I believe his basmos umituk, without any sweetening, perfuming, or sweetening. V'chaderek hashlishi hu acharach Nesira. Then the third one is after the Nesira, Moshe Mavoy Ratal, which we're now going to start to talk about. So he says, Acharkach, now after this, Ayidecha Tekiah Shofar B'Yom Rishon, that Tekiah Shofar, which takes place on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, Chozrin Amochin the Hikana B'Zoch Zer Anpin, then that the shofar time of the shofar, that you have a reversal of this, and that the Mochin now leave the Nukva, the Zer Anpin, and they go back into Zer Anpin himself. So Uru Yoshanim Yoshenim Mitar Demasachem. He says, awaken those who are sleeping from your deep sleep. Now let's go on a little bit more and let's read what this says. So he says, Shofar Chosrim Nai the Ima. So now what happens? He spells it out a little bit easier again. That as a result of the shofar, what happens is the Nai the Ima that left their Anpin, Im Shefa HaMochim Shabasocham, which has within them the Mochim for Zer Anpin, the Hikanas Otok Zer Anpin, they go back into Zer Anpin. Kederik is orderless Meshinaso, Shahamochim Chozrim V'Niknasim, it's like a person that awoke from his dream. And there's that part that you have the Mochim coming right back down again, and the person and the human being would wake up. Mokain, in the same way, Hakitz Kaviyachel Zer Anpin wakes up from his Tardema, for Tardemasa, and the Mochim come back to him again. Now, what's the next thing that happens? So now what we have to understand, the shefa is inside the Netzachot Yisod of Ima. So now that comes back in the Ima El Nuk Derech Zer Anpin, but now it goes back to the original situation. Is that now the Mochin are back in Zer Anpin, and what the Nuk is going to receive, she's going to receive again through Zer Anpin, just like she used to be able to get Nimana from him. But Rishon, could have been the Nesira at the beginning before the Nesira. Akata, but the same thing is different. Akata, noise la mochim chadasha, but now the mochim are completely new mochim. The haidach of the mochim, the ponim, shenim shacha gedach of the keels, the achar shenis oros their anpin, mibachis dormita, dardema. That was a long sentence, so let's read it again. The haina, that is that, what is she receiving? It said that she's getting new mochim. What kind of mochim is she getting now that she didn't get before? The haina mochim the ponim, she's getting mochim to the ponim. Remember we said that before she was getting mochim the acharayim from Zer Anpin because she was attached to his back. But she's not on his back anymore. Now she's been surgically removed, or she's been removed, there's been a Nesira. And now she is completely independent. So now she could come to the faces there on pin, and she's getting mochin upon him, which how do they come to her? They come to her through the shofar blast. And this is after Zora Zer Anpin has the Nayavim back inside of him, and he awakes. So these two different words, these are two Latin words, dormita and tardema, like tarde, which is a word for afternoon in Spanish, and dormir, which is the word in Spanish for to go to sleep. V'ayin shefa hakavana, so there's a shefa over there. We're not doing the shefa right now. Let's see what else we got here. We got number Nun Gimel, so all the way to Nun Gimel, so let's read on. He says, Gevuros Elosh and Mekabelas Ata Nuk. So these Gevuros that now the Nuk is able to receive. Haim al Dereka Ofen Rishon. This is according to the original way Shehoisa Mekabelas that she used to receive. Ayadei Zer Anpin Kodem and Nesira. Now she used to get all of her dinim from Zer Anpin. So now, in other words, let's just understand this. You're telling you that the Nukva lives on dinim. Okay, because dinim are shaping. It's like a shape, we've said this before, like shaping the embryo. So the shape of the embryo that we have in this world is the same actions that you do with the nukva. But the nukva needs all of that energy, that shaping. This is the energy of Gevurah. These are Gevurah energy. But they need to be sweetened in such a way that they actually work in a positive way instead of, as Rabbi Memran said, who said that dinim are bad? Well, dinim, even bad ones, have a point. But the fact of the matter is, dinim can be sweetened. This is the work of Kabbalists. Now that they're sweetened, there's a difference in the dinim now. The kaven she'enim ka'osam agavuros shechoisach anuk lokachas me'ima be'esh shechoyezer anpin b'tarbema. So he said the kaven that they're not like those gavuros that she originally got. It's she'enim ka'osam that she originally got from Ima, or that in the second stage she got them directly from Ima. When Zer Anpin was sleeping. Elohim Gevuros Acheros. There are other kinds of Gevuros. Shehem Mochin Deponim. Now he has this phrase again. Mochin Deponim. Remember we said that the Mochin that she got originally, that is the Gevuros that she got from Zer Anpin, were Mochin Da'ach, because they're Mochin of Dinim. But when they're coming out from Ima, they're going to be a much sweeter type of dinim going directly into the nukva, not through Zeranpin. But then when they come back into Zeranpin, you're going to be dealing with more sweetened dinim. So the Deponim, Shaboim Alecha Derek Ma'aver, parts of Zeranpin, and they come to her. Whereas Zeranpin now is really not the principal feeder. It's really the feeding is coming through Zeranpin, but it's coming from Bina right into Zeranpin. Aval parts of Ima, he's shorish dinim. So remember that Ima is always the root of dinim. As we said, it's a contradiction that the Ima is the concept of dinim misa'arimino. They're awakened from her, but she herself is not dinim. She herself is comfort and rahmanas. Mini dinim misa'arim, because there are different types of minim that are awakened. Masha Ein came Zer Anpin, which is not the case by Zer Anpin. So go on a little bit more we have down. So here we go to the next little piece. And let's read the piece here in the Rav, the words of the Rav, the ARI Kodesh. He said, V'chatam v'chatam. The reason, Elo, I guess he means of these. There's some missing here. I think there's a yud there, should not be there. But he says, V'chatam Elo, ki be'ez ha-tardema, Tardema Zah, at the time that there was a Tardema from Zer Anpin. Also Nishmasa, what happened to Zer Anpin? Now remember that we said that if you took the four Mochin of Zer Anpin and you arranged them from right to left, you would have all the Chochmah and Chesed would be on the right side, and all the Bina and the Din would be on the left side. So he says, Ki be'ez Tardema Zer Anpin. What happens is that the right side doesn't go into the Nook directly who is on his back, but instead it goes up. So he says what happens during the Tardema is also Nishma, so his Neshama goes up. Shehein HaMochin Shabbat, that is his Mochin. Lamala Ba'aba Be'iba Bebechina B'mayim Nukvin, and it produces Mayim Nukvin. It goes up to the place of Abba Be'ima, causes a Yichud in Abba Be'ima, because that's what Mayim Nukvin does. This is the concept of our prayers and our Torah study, if it's offered in that sense, that it is in the sense of wanting to be a connection to Hashem Yisborach. V'garim zivug, and it causes a result of that, a zivug elyon bechem, a zivug up above in Abba Ve'ima, v'yidera zivug alhu, and through this zivug, nimd nismatku v'nisbasmo elach ha'gavuros, yosef b'masha hoya b'techila. So now what happens again is another sweet, another perfuming of the dinim. I think it's very interesting that he uses the word nisbasmo, because I don't normally think about dinim as being foul smelling. But maybe we have to think about that. Maybe we go through another word and another variation on the word ruach, and we see that it's actually a foul wind, a foul breath, a foul breathing, something like that. But instead, it becomes perfumed, so that the atmosphere, that's it, foul atmosphere. So he said, we get to an atmosphere which is perfumed, now smells beautiful like the morning dew. So it sweetens them, it perfumes them more than they were originally. But knows them and now they're placed in the nukva shofar, through the tekiah of the shofar. Now let's come over here and we'll start at Nun base, which is right here in the Tivah. Try to get a better idea and feeling for what we're doing. Which we said, because she's getting the dinim which are related to the backside of Zer Anpin, are coming through his back, which back we understand is Lashon Din, so that means din and din. So then after that, she goes through a removal from Zera Anpin, and she gets Shefa directly from Ima. This is a result of this. It causes those self-same Gevuros to come into her, but they're now much more sweetened. But now she comes back and she receives from Zer Anpin again because the Malchit left the Nukva, and now they came back into the Zer Anpin again. They're even sweeter than what they were when they originally went into to the Nukva via Ima. Ima sweetened them. They went into the Nukva. Now they come out of the Nukva. They go back into Zer Anpin, but they're going to be sweeter again. But the Chayver, so we see like this: Halol techilo, Omer isheima mevuteches yosef bezer anpin. So now we understand that to begin with, Ima is a sweetener that's stronger than zer anpin. V'ketzad Omer acher kach zer anpin b'meducha yosef b'mina. So I don't know where he said that, but he said, how do we say after this that zer anpin is more sweet than Ima? So now we're going to explain this. So it seemed to be like this. There were three stages. One is receiving dinim that are kasher ma'od because they come from the back. The second was much sweeter dinim that are coming into Zera Anpin, into the Nukva, into Malchus, directly from Ima without having to go through Zera Anpin. Third is all the Mochin come back into Zera Anpin, but now they're even sweeter than they were in the second stage. So the kasha is that how is it that you say Ima? Ima's from a dimension which is sweet. She is sweetness herself. She's mommy. So if that's what's happening, then how could it be that Zera Anpin, who's the child, and is involved with the Gevuros and Chasadim and so on and so forth, who is not completely sweet, so how is it his sweetness is greater than hers? And now he wants to explain. He said, but the beginning, Hoya Gevuros bezer Anpin cautious ma'od kevin shochoy bebechilid malchin da'ach. Now that's the phrase malchin da'ach. Now you understand they're coming from his backside. Everything has to do with the backside is going to be Dan. But then after that, but Beshas on Nesira at the time where she is removed, also of the Shmas of Shehem HaMochim Shalos. And what happens then is that the Mochim now go up from Zer Anpin to the Hein of Chochmah the Chesed. So let's understand he's using Chochmah and Chesed. It means the Chesed the Das. Shenish Aram al Zer Anpin that remain up above Zer Anpin. Besod Makifim, and they're like shining down towards Zer Anpin, but from the outside, not from the inside. So let's understand this. There are four mochin. There's a left side of two mochin, and there's a right side of two mochin. The right side of two mochin remain on, which is chochmah and chesed, remain on top of the head as their anpin as a makif. The left side, which is bina and gevurah the das, they go into the nukva. Then they come back out. Now, what was going on while their anpin was up on top of the head of the mochin is their anpin, or up on top of his head. But they go up in the aspect of Mayim Nukvin. We seem to be saying like this. The basic movement for getting your prayers answered is from the bottom to the top. So every time we see that you want greater consciousness, you want to be closer to God, you want to get your prayers answered, you need to have all of this going for you to really connect yourself to eternity, it has to start at the bottom. I will sing out to God from where I am. It's on your feet, on the ground. And so we see that every time that something is coming from the bottom to the top, it's Mayim Nukvin, and it produces a Yichud Elyo. That's we have in our Shiurim on Shabbos. Is it Shabbos or Kriya Shema? Our Shiurim on Kriya Shema that we're seeing that. Oh, he says, Umayim Nokvim Elu Sha'alu Malamata. So these are the words of the tip. So this Mayim Nukvim, which is coming up from the bottom, Oruro Zivug Bispheris al Yonis. It causes a yichud in the spheres of Yonis with the spheres of Abba Be'ima Elul. So therefore, as a result of this zivug, the Abba Be'ima, Nola V'nimshulam B'mochim Chadashim, so that you have to understand that they were born out, they streamed out new mochi because of the yichud that takes place as a result of this whole process. This is all a process of it. And they cry mochin the panim. And now these mochin are called mochin the panim because they're being shown for the faces their anpin, and the nukva is now around the front of their anpin. So that now they're much sweeter. And now the atmosphere created by them is now sweet, a sweet fragrance. Yosef more than they were to begin with. So since we see that they're all sweetened up, which is caused as a result of the mochi coming up from Zerabin, Nolda v'nimshul mochin chadashim, it causes new mochin to be grown, grown, you could say they develop, and ikroim mochin deponim, and these mochin now are called mochin deponim because they're mochin with sweeter and fragrant and perfumed gevuros. They are sweetened out, Yosef b'mashachoy b'techilo, more than they were at the beginning. So now that they're new mochim, and they're sweetened mochim, and now he's taking those mochim, he's giving them now over to the nukva zeranfin. As well as she's also getting the mochin of ach as well. So let's understand that he must be saying that the mochin of ach never really left zeranpin, or at least there's a remnant of them within zeranpin. And those mochin now are going to also go along into the nukva of their anpin, and she's going to become much, much stronger. That's the shir here today. This is Baruch Fleischman. I'm at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. We're in DeLand, Florida right now, where I have business and I come from time to time.